Today, we are with the meeting number 116. And the spring is just about to begin, and I believe it's just the warmth that's going to touch everyone's heart, and the love is in the air, basically. So, with that note, I just sort of hand over the meeting to the Toastmaster Syed, who is the presiding officer for the day.
Great. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Govardhan. And good morning, guests and fellow Toastmasters. Hope you all are doing well. At least I can imagine with the bright and smiling faces here. On this beautiful Saturday morning, I would like to welcome you to this meeting number 116 of the Gabbys President's Distinguished Toastmaster Club. It is an absolute pleasure for me to be presiding officer of this meeting. We do have some esteemed guests here, DTM Priyanka and Toastmaster Joseph. Thank you for taking time today. For the benefit of guests who are not Toastmasters, I would like to share the history of Toastmasters. Toastmaster was started by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in 1924. And now it is close to 100 years of legacy. Toastmaster is present in more than 149 countries. And as we all know, we are not here to participate or listen. We are here to learn and implement the learnings in our personal and professional life. And that is what exactly Toastmaster does. As a PO, I call this meeting to order. Let us hear from our guests if there are any about what brought them here. Do we have some guests? Zoom Master, if you can help me.
Yes, we have our area director, Priyanka. We can ask her to come and speak. We also have Toastmaster Joseph from the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club.
Okay, any opening remarks, DTM Priyanka?
Hello, everybody. A very good morning. I'm actually the area director of P1. I'm very, very thankful to all of you for inviting me for today's meeting. I'm looking forward for today's meeting.
Great.
Thank you so much, presiding officer.
Thank you. Any other guests? Toastmaster Joseph, I think you are coming second time or third time here. We'd like to hear from you.
Good morning to everyone. I'm very much, I would say, the part of Gabbys Club. Many times I have attended. And thank you so much for inviting me as a grammarian today. I hope the meeting will go on in a very prosperous way. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much. January, we had session of a season of competition and collaboration. We completed Club ISC International Speech, Table Topic, and Evaluation Competition. And we also continued to have a collaboration with DNR Atmos. So that was the last meeting that we had. And this meeting is going to be something different. We have a new theme here, which I am not going to introduce anyway. It will be introduced by someone who is Toastmaster of the day today. She is an image management consultant. She has a rich experience in public relations, sales, and marketing. She loves her hair and to experiment with it. I think she does colors to styles, and you name it, she already did it. She wants to impact at least 1 million lives in next 10 years. Big vision, clear mission, and with a cause. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster of the Day, Chitrakshi Vij. Over to you, Chitrakshi.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Good morning, Gabbys. Are we all up and alert? And as I've been already telling you, we need more hair accessories which are visible. And to remember all of that, you have to keep. I have a really big hair accessory right here, giving me a very nice boho look early in the morning. I'm very close to the mountain, so this kind of makes a little sense for me. It takes me back to all the songs, retro songs, and all the boho songs. Keep that up. And this is the 116th meeting of Gabbys Toastmasters Club. It's the month of love, and love starts with us. And what more than to see ourselves in this small screen with hair and hair accessories and taking care of them. I've been obsessed with my hair, and I've seen that lately there were people who love their hair, but now people really go out there when it comes to their hair. I remember when I was a kid, I don't remember my father going to more than one. He had this one fixed barber shop that he used to go to, and unfortunately, he used to take me there. And if you remember, as kids, we had those mushroom cuts, and in the defense, they used to call it katora cuts, which is a bowl. So basically, they thought they just kept a bowl on our heads and went tuck, 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 tuck. And I lived with that for 15 years of my life. 15 years with mushroom on my head. Imagine that. Then I knew that I had to do something and save my life. And I started to grow my hair. So as our PO said today, my hair was mid-waist. Then I realized that was too boring. That wasn't me. So from going to blonde, having my hair short, having my hair really long, my hair colored in blue, green, pink, and red. I've had it all, done it all, colored my hair, cut my hair. I really, really, really love experimenting with my hair. So for those who go to their hairdressers more than they meet their friends, and for those who've been going to the salons more often than they did when they were kids, I remember a quote which I read in one of the salons about 8 years ago, and that changed my life. And the quote said, "Life is not perfect, but your hair can be." And I've taken that to my heart. So as you can see today, with a new experiment in my hair, with all the bleach and red going haywire, it's time to get another cut and celebrate my Valentine's month by showing love to my hair. Let's hear from all of you. What experiments have you done with your hair? What have you done which you thought was, oh my God, I'm never going to do that to my hair. And one day, boof, you went and did it. Yes, Toastmaster Dhwani.
I went and colored my hair, and it was within fraction of seconds that I decided that I wanted to color my hair, and I just went and did it, which I thought that I would never do because it's not good for your hair, but then I just went and I did it.
What color was it?
It's a bit with blonde, something blonde and goldenish. Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
It's,
I think you should also experiment with some other colors now.
yeah, this is the first time, but yeah, I'll try more.
All the best. Yes. Can we have the team or evaluator, the GE listener, one of them telling me what experiments they've done with their hair? You're not audible.
You're not, okay.
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, so one experiment, here's the thing, I'm not very obsessed with my hair. The bulb, if the hair falls and all that, okay, not really, okay, just average. So it gives me a lot of freedom to experiment, right? I colored my hair red when I was working. And I think initially it was slightly weird, and then I got so used to the attention I got, I actually started enjoying it. So I keep experimenting. The latest experiment I plan to do is I plan to color my hair blue very soon. But kind of contemplating, let's see.
We should definitely exchange notes on that. I've done that and I've loved it. So we'll do that soon. Yay. Anyone else who wants to talk about their experiments with their hair?
There is someone who wants to.
Yes. Toastmaster Kartik, the up counter.
Yeah. So I have not done any experiment on my hair, but I still remember there was one incident when I was second standard. So I had watched Kuch Kuch Hota Hai movie, and I really loved how Shah Rukh Khan dressed his hair with all that gel on his hair. So I went to a barber shop and I asked him to cut the hair like Shah Rukh Khan. He was really shocked, saying that how come you are just a second standard student and you want to style like Shah Rukh Khan? Then I said, I really like him and I really like his hair. So please, can you do it? I don't know what I did, but after that, after I came up to that barber shop, I really felt like it was the hairdressing style of Shah Rukh Khan. So that was one incident I experienced.
Wow, that makes anyone else who wants to share it before I tell you that this really reminds me of all the things that we've done with our hair.
I
Yes,
can go ahead.
Toastmaster
Yeah.
Joseph. Toastmaster Joseph and then Toastmaster Govardhan.
When I was in Saudi Arabia, we used to get only the borewell water. So I have seen people who are going bald by using that water. So I started myself not to use that one, but a pure drinking water. This is how I saved my hair today, even though I stayed 30 years in Saudi Arabia. The man who used the regular borewell water is already gone bald, whereas I'm having too much of hair even till today. That is a thing that I saved my hair. And even today, I'm only using Kaveri water for bathing from hair oil once in a week.
Wow, thank you so much. Toastmaster Govardhan.
I'm not sure if you can call this as experiment, but I grew my hair for 18 months in 2020 and 2021. It was almost like 12 to 13 inches, I guess. So the intent behind earlier, it was just the general sense where I wanted to experiment. But then once I got aware about the part where I can actually donate it to cancer patients, it was for that experience and it was for that purpose I grew it. And I revealed that actually after 14 months to people when they were behind me to cut my hair. And for men, you have to grow it a minimum of 12 inches to go and donate hair so that it'll be useful for the patients. So then I had to just reveal that so that people would stop butchering me. And then, yeah, after 18 months, I think the experience was wholesome, honestly, because maintaining that long hair was something very difficult for me. It was very first time, and then applying oil or shampoo and all of that stuff. But then towards the end, it was like completely a heartful experience. And I think that was one of the moment I'll just cherish for life.
That's wonderful. Here we thought that we kept the crown of our lives, the crown, our hair. We keep it intact for various reasons, and a lot of it has to do with vanity. But here, there is someone who did it
So
for a
that was the
cause.
very reason I actually back then I bought this hairbands and all. Otherwise, I don't think I'll have them.
Wow, I think you should wear it in the front so that we can all see the hair. But now you're just pulling
It's
it
not
off.
staying actually. I mean, the silky, it's a little silky hair, so it's just falling off.
Wow, lucky you. We all wish for silky hair, but we get hair like this. But Toastmaster Govardhan, excellent with that silky hair. Thank you so much, all of you, and taking so much care of your hair, from experiments to causes to cutting them to growing them long to taking so much care. That's all that you will see throughout the session, because love is in the hair. And with that, let's move to introducing someone today who's the general evaluator. Before I tell you who he is, let me tell you that his one and only mantra for hair is to cut them short. So when I asked him how he takes care of his hair, he said, I cut them short. I like them really short. Now, I don't know how that works, because I had mushroom cut throughout my life, but cutting it short, I don't know. So I think he should explain that to me, along with introducing his TAGL team. And now over to this distinguished Toastmaster, who's the mentor of my mentor, and who's wearing a really nice hair accessory today on it. So handing this over to the general evaluator, DTM Saurabh Datta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, sure.
So, my only hair accessory, as you can see, is mostly caps. And the reason I like caps is because it doesn't only, it's not only an accessory, but it also shows your affiliation to, certain emotions or brand. Like, for example, right now, the cap I'm wearing is that of Royal Enfield, which is a dead giveaway that I'm a biker and I love Royal Enfield bikes. So similarly, I have caps from all over the world, various places. And that's what my only thing that I do with my hair, apart from cutting it short. Okay, so coming back to the role of a general evaluator, the general evaluator's role in a Toastmasters meeting is basically to give you those pointers about the meeting which you're likely to miss out on, which you may miss out on, because we have been doing these meetings week after week after week, right? So some of the finer nuances of a Toastmaster meeting. And for a 2-hour meeting, to take note of everything, it's not a one-man's job, hence we have a team here. And my team comprises of the timer, the accountant, and the grammarian, and the listener. Apart from three evaluators in today's case, who are a part of the general evaluation team. So our timer for today is our club secretary and someone who recently bagged a podium finish in several club contests at the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, a prolific speaker and a very diligent leader, Toastmaster Dhwani Adisara. Over to you, Toastmaster Dhwani, to explain your role as the guide.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. As the timer for today, I am going to make sure that everybody keeps in mind that we all are in time, because time and tide waits for none. With that, for the prepared speech section, I will be timing the speakers, and the timing will be in this manner. At 5 minutes, I will show the green card. At 6 minutes, I will show the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will show the red card. And 30 seconds of grace period will be given to the speakers to wrap up whatever they have to conclude. For the evaluators, at 2 minutes, I will show the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will show the red card. Again, 30 seconds of grace time will be provided. For the table topic speakers, at 1 minute, I will be showing the green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will show the red card. Again, 30 seconds of grace time will be provided. With that, all the best to everybody and to the speakers. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Let me now invite the R counter for today's meeting. And the R counter for today's meeting is Toastmaster Karthik. Toastmaster Karthik, over to you to please explain your role as the R counter. We can't hear you, Karthik. You're on mute.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A warm welcome to Toastmasters and guests. I am the R counter for today. A warm welcome to Toastmasters and guests. I am the R counter for today's meeting. You just heard how the filler sounds such as hum, and er can decrease the essence of effective communication. As an R counter, I'll keenly listen and count the usage of such filler sounds used by speakers and provide the report on the same. So please mind the usage of filler sounds in your speech. Thank you. I'll give it back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. So that was our R counter for today, Toastmaster Karthik. And let me now invite our grammarian for today. Our grammarian for today is a guest role taker, president of the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, an area director, and also one of the very diligent Toastmasters we have in District 92, Toastmaster Joseph Felix Benedict. Over to you, Toastmaster Joseph, to explain your role as a grammarian and also to introduce the word of the day. Thank you.
Thank you to DTM Saurav Datta for I'm a grammarian today. I would like to note, as you know, the grammar part takes the important part of any speech. So it will be appreciated that a flawless speech will be the best one to be taken over. So in order to have a good speech, we need to have a better grammar. So I will note all the usage of good words, phrases, codes, and also the incorrect use of words and sentences and so on. And after that, when I am called for, At the end of the meeting, I will present my report. Over to you, TTM Saurudari. And the word of the day is passion. It can be used as, I have a great passion to change my hairstyle to suit my outfit. I repeat, I have a great passion to change my hairstyle to suit my outfit. Oh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joseph. And now let me invite the listener for today's meeting. Our listener for today's meeting is distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goyal, the past Area Director, Area E2, District 92, and the current Educom Lead of District 92. Over to you, Toastmaster Nancy.
How many times does it happen with you that you just want your partner to listen to you instead of providing you solutions, and then he or she is ending up giving you solutions, blabbering all the time? Totally, right? This happens all the time. Why? Because we just understand speaking. We don't understand listening. So as a listener, I'll ensure that you're developing your listening skills today. I'll note down a couple of questions from today's meeting, and I'll come up with those questions towards the end of the meeting, understanding whether you are listening to each and everything which is being discussed today or not. I'll come back with my report when called upon. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nancy, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goyal. And that was my Taggle team for today, the timer, the accounter, the grammarian, listener. And along with them and my team of evaluators, I will come back towards the end of the meeting to present my report on the entire meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Chitrakshi.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Now let's start the first section before we lose ourselves in our hair. The first section for the day is the prepared speeches section. And so we have two speakers. And to introduce the speakers, we have our first evaluator. His go-to for his hair is a weekly scalp massage, the right shampoo, regular use of conditioner, and the perfect select hair gel. He also sometimes tries going for a hair spa. This is our Toastmaster Syed, who is the first evaluator. Toastmaster Syed, please let us know what the speaker has to do, what the speaker one needs to do for their prepared speech section.
Okay, the project is presentation mastery. Speech level is level 1, speech 2. Purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods of writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. All the best.
Our speaker one for today is a product manager by profession, but the more important thing is how he shows love to his hair. He does it by providing proper nourishment, regular hair washing, and styling done from a good salon once in a while. This is our first speaker, Toastmaster Ritvik Raj. 3 lessons I've learned in my photography journey. Toastmaster Ritvik, 3 lessons I've learned in my photography journey.
Madam Toastmaster, 1 second before the first speaker comes in. You actually had to invite your evaluator to read out the project guidelines for you because you're also being evaluated, right? So if you can invite your evaluator to read out your project guidelines, then we will move on to the speaker. I think if we can just wait for 1 minute or so while Aparna reads out the project guidelines for the team order. Aparna.
Okay.
Good morning once again. My target speaker is none other than the TMOD for today. She's attempting her presentation mastery level 4, project 2, manage online meetings. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice facilitating an online meeting or leading a webinar, which you're doing pretty well so far. So I shall be back with my evaluation when called upon to do so by the GE later in the meeting today. Back to you.
Thank you. Just when I realized I was having a lot of fun, I was told I have an evaluator who I need to introduce. Now, as you can hear, I've already lost most of it. So handing it over to Toastmaster Ritvik. 3 lessons I've learned in my photography journey. Toastmaster Ritvik. Toastmaster Ritvik, 3 lessons I've learned in my photography journey.
Good morning. What is the most beautiful place you have ever been to? And while you were there, you took a picture of that. For me, it is this place. As you can see, this is Pulpit Rock, Norway. It's a beautiful sunset time. There are layer of mountains behind, the river flowing down, and then you have the company of your friends jumping in a synchronous manner. What you probably do not recognize is that there were dozens of photographers behind me taking similar shots for their hundreds of friends who are on the other side. And luckily, I got this time a picture, which is now imprinted on our memory for all of us. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Dear guest, I am Ritvik Raj, and I am today going to talk about my passion, photography, and the learnings that I had from it. Now, one of the questions that often get asked is that why are you so mad about taking pictures when you can get thousands, if not millions of them on the internet already? Now, the answer I give them is that it is just for my satisfaction and enjoyment that I do it, and all of our voices and unique perspective matters in this world. According to a research done by Kristen Dill and her colleagues at USC on the impact of photo taking on your enjoyment levels while you are experiencing, the research concludes that when you are with your camera, your enjoyment level actually increases while you are with your camera, with the exception that you are not doing it with the sole intention of sharing it somewhere. So the intention matters. Now, I will talk about the lesson number 1. Now, this is the question that I was actually grappling a lot in my initial days, that how much does a photography gear matters for taking a good picture? And how many times this discussion happened in your household that, hey, let's go for this camera, or rather, let's go for a high-end phone having a better camera, or should I go for this mirrorless or whatever? Like, does this sound familiar to you? So the answer that I used to get in the beginning is that just because if you have an expensive pen, does it mean that you are going to get better marks in the examination? Answer is no, right? So the answer that I have found for myself that works is, once you start understanding the limitation of your gear or tool is when is the time to upgrade your camera. And that can only happen after you have invested hundreds of hours and probably taken thousands of pictures, when you'll start realizing the limits of your gears. So the answer now I give is that if you are a better driver and you are given an auto versus a Ferrari to drive, with which vehicle are you going to reach your destination faster? Of course, doesn't apply for the Bangalore roads, but in general, the tools can definitely help achieve better. Now, that gives a segue into my second learning, which is what actually makes it, what is the most important ingredient for a better photograph? While there are a lot of components and it's quite a subjective topic, one of the composition, lighting conditions, the story you're able to convey from your picture. Now, one of the things that I really like is about the importance of pre-visualization. Now, just a disclaimer, no one was harmed in the making of this picture. And this is just it. I had just pre-visualized this shot, and it's a lateral displacement from 5 to 10 meters on the same location. So as a photographer, we train ourselves to look for patterns and have a pre-visualized photo. And while you are there in the moment, it's just a matter of pressing the shutter. But it's the story behind that and the work that you do behind that matters. So that brings to my third learning, which is how do you get lucky while taking a photograph? Now, in the beginning, I used to take one good picture and then probably 20 bad pictures. Now, was it just luck, or am I actually getting better at taking photographs? Now, one of the things that I realized that so this is the picture, if you can see, this is one misty fine morning of Cubbon Park with the sun rays piercing through the leaves and kissing the ground. Now, I might have taken a stroll of Cubbon Park probably hundreds of times before this as well, but it was only after hundreds of strolls that I got lucky that I got to witness this beautiful sunrise one fine morning. And one thing which I resonate now is that, like most of the other things in life, as you work hard and hard with consistency, you will start finding that you increase the luck surface area for yourself, and luck starts getting on your side. And very soon I got lucky again. And all of these things are just taken from a very simple camera, mobile camera. And it was just about being at the right place at the right time. But then it took multiple, it just didn't happen in the first attempt. It just never can. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of planning to capture such things. So those are the three bright side learnings, that high side I can say. Now, there's one downside that I would also accept, that many times what happens is that while we are capturing, there's often a viewfinder that is coming in between the reality and yourself. Now, and sometimes when you do not have your camera or it's not allowed, you do not enjoy while you are in the nature just because you have a camera. So one thing which I'm also unlearning is to be in the elements and actually enjoy the moment, even if you haven't carried your camera, because it has a different level of enjoyment level, and of course you should balance it out. So that's about my time. Thanks for being a very patient listener, and thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritvik. Was it luck, or did I really get better? We all ask these questions more often than not. Was it luck, or did I really just get better? For me, I think Toastmasters definitely did that for me. And saying that one more time for Saurav and Nancy, because they are constantly asking me this question on recording right there. Okay, with that, let's move to our second speaker for today, Evaluator 2, whose hair feels best when applying the age-old work of henna, and a very good haircuts works the best for her. Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Neha Jain. Could you please introduce the project for speaker 2? You're on mute.
Just give me a moment. My target speaker today is attempting her L4 P2, and the purpose of the project is for the member to practice facilitating an online meeting or leading a webinar. All the very best to my target speaker.
Speaker 2 of the day. She loves oiling her hair twice a week, and again, it's the right shampoo and conditioner that she believes really nurtures her hair. Yes, Toastmaster.
I think we have the evaluation guidelines mixed up, because speaker 2 is not attempting L4P2. That would be you attempting L4P2, right, speaker 2?
Yes.
Yes, Aparna.
Utkarsha, so what is the project you're attempting?
Yes, I am attending level 2, managing time.
Okay.
Can you share the evaluation resource?
But can you share the evaluation resource, please?
Yeah, yes. Chitrashu can continue a little bit, till the time we get a confirmation.
We'll just wait. Yes, while we wait for the evaluation sheets to go from here to the, let's discuss our hair yet again. Because it has been suddenly given to me, the only thing that I can think of right now is all the oiling, the conditioner and shampooing that we are doing to our hair. Almost everyone who talks about hair care talks about oiling, shampooing and conditioning their hair. But did you all know that oil or any product on our skin does not need more than 30 to 45 minutes to absorb? Anything more than that does not benefit us at all. Did you know that? So the myth that oiling your hair at night and letting it be would nurture our hair more, or nourish our hair more than it would in 30 to 40 minutes is a myth. So next time you go oiling your hair with Delhi, Bangalore, Bombay pollution, if you oil your hair throughout the night, you end up getting more pollution in your hair and dirt and dust, which will end up in hair fall, which I clearly see is not our aim here. So next time you want to oil your hair, try keeping it low-key, unless you're in a place like Jammu or Jamshedpur, where the pollution is slightly lesser. So next time, just go with the hair flow and just make sure that you're not oiling your hair throughout the night. What do you think is a myth that you have yet to bust? Anyone? I've actually taken a lot of help from Toastmaster Dhwani, and I'm going to do that again. Toastmaster Dhwani, one myth that you busted very recently about your hair. Something that you believed in throughout your life, something that you believed very much in and suddenly realized that wasn't even true.
Yes, one thing that people used to constantly tell me is put onion water, but I don't believe that is true. That helps for hair growth, because it did not clearly help me, and all it did was made my hair stink of onion. So no, that's one myth for me.
Wow. We have many such myths, but I just saw my evaluator. She was trying to say something. Are we good to go? No? No or a thumbs up? I'm really confused. There are a lot of mixed signals. Are we good to go?
Hi, Chitrakshi. Actually, it's taking time for me to download the evaluation source. So, yeah.
One second. Have you sent the evaluation resource to the evaluator? Bakrsha, did you send it?
I sorry, I can't hear you, Saurabh.
Unmuted.
Can you hear me now? I'm saying, Utkarsha,
Yes.
did you send your evaluation resource to Neha?
Okay. So you're going to take a while? Can I continue?
No, the G is asking if Utkarsha has sent the evaluation resource to her evaluator.
She's saying she hasn't yet.
No, we can't continue then unless the evaluator has the evaluation resource.
I mean, can I continue with my talking? I'll leave her to it. Utkarsha, just give me a thumbs up once you're ready.
I'm sharing.
Okay. So busting some more myths, Dhwani, I completely agree with that, because I've done that. And my mother told me that putting onion water in your hair really helps. But I remember that day I thought I was going to die because the smell, oh my God. And it did not leave my hair for the next 3 days. So it was really bad. And I'm glad I was not dating anyone back then. Otherwise, they would have really run away from me forever. Are we good? Okay, perfect. Would you, okay, the evaluator is saying yes, but the speaker is saying no. I'm not sure what's happening.
No, the speaker does not know. It has already been shared with the evaluator. We have already shared it.
Okay. Okay. So evaluator 2, could you please introduce her project once more?
So my target speaker is, the objectives of my target speaker is to observe his or her time management pattern, and all the very best to my target speaker.
Hitombare, Toastmaster Utkarsha. Toastmaster Utkarsha, Hitombare.
So, hitomebore. It's a Japanese word that I had came across recently, and it means love at first sight. So how many of you believe in this love at first sight? Can I get a raise of hands? Yeah. So I was this person who will put up a zillions of alarms just to get up early in the morning, but will only get up when I hear my mother screaming from the kitchen. So she will always torture me to go for a morning walk with her. And after getting so many scoldings, finally, one day I joined her for a morning walk. So we both went for a morning walk, and when we were returning back, I saw her. She was there sitting near the stall, okay, watching around with her sparkling eyes and watching around with her sparkling eyes and that cute, mesmerizing face of hers. I stared at her till she disappears from my sight. I came back home, and all day long, what I could do was to just think about her. So next day, surprisingly, I woke my mother up early and we went for a walk. And all the way, I was praying just one thing, was that her presence. So, oh my God, she should be there, she should be there, she should be there. And she was there. She was there at the same place. So for 2-3 days, this activity continued. And precisely on the 5th day, I went to her, sat beside her. I had a tea and I had tea and I offered her a biscuit. And she happily took it. After that, we had a little chit chat. Mostly I spoke. She just nodded her hair and blinked her eyes. It was hard to say bye, but then I left from the place. And the very next morning, again I came. But today, not to speak with her, but to take her with me to my home. So when I came with her to at my home, my family refused to accept her. But later, somehow, I convinced them. And now, within 3 to 4 months, she made her place in the heart of a very strict man of the family. Now she accompanies my mother in the kitchen, and she irritates my brother just the way I do. Now I always wake up early, so just to enjoy that morning walk with her. She's very choosy about the food, so I keep experimenting with her food. I always cancels my plans. I mostly cancel my plan just to stay back at home and spend some more time with her. When she gets sick, I am the one who becomes crybaby. I sleep with her and I sleep by her side and I wake up by her side. And when I'm away from her, even a day feels like a century for me. So we don't usually express our loves with those sweet little talks, but we always show our love and passion with that little and cute actions. She is a family. So that was my story of falling in love at first sight with my 2 angels whom I met 2 years ago. And those angels are my dogs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Utkarsha. Dogs, angels, my God, you had my heart right there. I think falling in love at first sight with your pets is something that a lot of us have experienced, and we dearly love that. I would just say that if it was love at first sight for other things, I have a lot of first sight. So oops, let's just keep quiet and let's move on to the second segment. Before we move on to the second segment, Zoom Master, do we have the polls ready for the best speaker? Before that, as actually timer, do we have any disqualifications?
Yes, Toastmaster Utkarsha, speaker 2 has not qualified the time.
Okay. General evaluator?
So we typically do the polling before the timer reports are out. So we'll capture that, but we don't disqualify on the grounds of time during the meeting. So I'm launching the polls.
Okay. While we wait for our polls, let's get to busting another myth, and that is my favorite myth of mustard oil. Everyone, mustard oil, you cannot use a lot of mustard oil at night, especially in the night, because we've just realized that, and there have been a lot of studies telling you that mustard oil throughout the night just ends up adding a lot of oil to your hair, which takes a lot of time for the shampoo to rinse, hence drying your hair more than it nourishes your hair. So for next time, try understanding which oil suits your hair best before using an oil, and mustard oil is not the best for all hair types. With that, there's something I'd like to tell you, that a haircut is incomplete without a blow dry. Oiling is incomplete without shampoo. Hair spa is incomplete without hair wash. Similarly, our speeches are incomplete without the evaluation. Hence, we move to our second segment of the day, which is the evaluation segment, calling upon evaluator 1 to give his evaluations for the day. Toastmaster Sayed.
Okay, congratulations, Toastmaster Ritwik, for completing speech 2 of level 1. You had a catchy start with a rhetoric question, and I think you had few of them in between also, which was good tactic to keep audience engaged. You had photos, you had descriptive language, which we were able to kind of visualize with the explanation that you had with each of the photograph. I think it also shows your passion, and I was able to completely correlate when my son will tell me, come and watch National Geographic Channel with me. It was showing your passion very clearly. You also said intention matters. You also had a couple of lessons in between where you said it is not the pen which will give you high grades, but it is the skill that you try probably 1 time, 10 times, 100 times, which makes a difference, which makes you perfect. You try to have humor in between. I think that was a good touch. Now, coming to improvement points, for me, it was too technical, I guess, because you used a lot of words like lux level, light, and a couple of other things which I don't remember now. You had a good hand gestures, but you could have better vocal variety, I guess, because it was looking a little bit flat. Your ending was a bit abrupt. You could have summarized. I mean, to be honest, I did not remember all 3 lessons now. So if you could have summarized at the end all 3 lessons, it would have been kind of a good impact for the people, and especially for me also. On challenging to you, I think you can try to make it in a story form. I'm sure when you go for a photography, you will have a lot of challenges and things which you can share in a story form. Barring that, I guess it was a good speaking heart out. We could completely correlate with your passion. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Evaluator 1. Now, Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Neha.
Toastmaster Utkarsha, first of all, congratulations on delivering an amazing speech. I really love the way you put up the sequence of the speech with such an accurate title, Et Ombre, or Love at First Sight. Being a dog lover myself, I absolutely got carried away by the flow of your speech. And there were instances in your speech where you had very accurate facial expressions and the hand gestures. So great work on that. Amazing choice of title, amazing sequence. I just have 3 recommendations for you, which could take this amazing speech to a next level. My first recommendation would be when we are on a virtual setup, so we are on a Zoom meeting, right? So it's ideal to remove that virtual background that you have whenever you deliver a speech so that your hand gestures are more clear, right? Sometimes when we do hand gestures on a virtual platform, it kind of gets hidden because of the virtual background that we have. So whenever you deliver a speech on a Zoom platform, it's ideal that you remove. My suggestion would be that, you remove the virtual background. My second suggestion to you would be sentence pauses. So there were instances where I felt that there were too many pauses in the same sentence. For example, when you say sentences like, I woke my mother up and we went for a walk. So this is a sentence that can be said continuously, right? I woke my mother up and we went for a walk. So when you were saying that sentence, there were too many pauses in the same sentence. So I would suggest you to work on your sentence pauses so that there's more clarity when you try to express your opinion out there. And one other suggestion that could take your speech a notch higher would be eye contact. So I noticed in a couple of instances that you were constantly looking down. I don't know whether it was for the content that you were looking for, or you weren't very, confident about what you were going to say next. So you were constantly looking down. So it's always good to look into the camera so that the audience gets a feel that, yeah, you are interacting with them. And so just have a direct eye contact, look into the camera and then talk to the audience. That will just give you an air of confidence while you deliver your next speech. All in all, an amazing speech. It just touched my heart. The subject was so accurate. The title was so accurate. Just these 3 suggestions, and I think you will rock the stage the next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neha. That brings us to the end of the second segment, which was the evaluation segment. Moving on, let's talk about what origin where. Did you know that oil and shampoo are both from India? Oil comes from Ayurveda and shampoo comes from a word called champu, which starts with C, and it was made for the first time in Bengal with Indian gooseberry, which is also called amla. Since that's the origin of oil and shampoo, which is very, very relevant to hair care, let's move to the original, one of the most original pieces of Toastmasters, which I am totally in love with. And that is the third segment, which is the table topic segment, the original and born and brought up in Toastmasters. Handing over to the table topics master of the day. The table topic master today has believes that her hair talks about her personality, and her hair resonates with her personality completely. She thinks that her hair is really smooth, but not her words, which I disagree with. And very soon you will all disagree with completely because her hair, like her words, are very smooth. And with that, table topics master, Toastmaster Ashwini.
Great. Thank you, Chitrakshi. Hey, everyone. Good morning. Yes, I'm Ashwini. I'll be your table topic master for today. Let's see how's the Josh today. How's the Josh? Can we all unmute and show our energy? How's the Josh? Great.
Great.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, great. So I'm pretty excited about table topics, and I have very interesting topics for all of you. So let's get started. So before we start, few guidelines to follow for the speakers. So you can choose any number between 1 to 10, and I'll be giving a topic according to the numbers you choose. And regarding the timings, timer, please note the timing for the speaker is 1 to 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, you can show a green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, you can show a yellow card. And 2 minutes, it will be a red card. And one benefit at Toastmasters is we have 30 seconds of grace period, right, to wrap up this speech. So with this, let's get started. So who is going to take up the first topic? If you don't have any volunteers, yes, we have volunteers. So here you go, Ankita. You can choose any number between 1 to 10.
Number.
Ankit, sorry, I'm so sorry. It's Ankit.
No worries. I'm used to what Ankita. Okay. Topic number 10.
10. Okay. Okay. The topic goes like this. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? I'll repeat it for you. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
So it would be dal. That is my favorite food because since my childhood I have been told like it is source of protein, vitamins, energy, and less in carbohydrates. So I am just trying to reduce my weight, and I am dependent on dal a lot. And anytime you can give me dal and I can just have it with lot of ghee, butter, and I can stay without rice chapati, but for me I need to have dal 3 times a day. So my breakfast will have some pulse every day, and then and dinner and lunch also I will have some dal, and in dinner also I need dal. So without dal, so I'm so affectionate towards dal. Like my wife is fed up of me, like why you are always demand dal 3 times a day. So that's about my favorite food, and I can't live without dal. And even if I go outside, I just try to make sure that I have pre-cooked packeted dal so that I can take it and I can just boil it and have it. So that's my favorite food. Yeah, thanks.
Great. Thank you, Ankit. I'm sure we all agree with that, right? We all love dal, and we all love trying out new different types of dals, right?
Yeah.
So with that, we'll move on to the second speaker who would like to go next. Okay, we have Ritvik. Ritvik, you can choose any number between 1 to 9.
3.
3. Yes. So your topic is hair cares as a show of love. Hair care as a show of love. Over to you, Ritvik.
So just to confirm the topic, hair care as the
show of love.
Got it. So there are different ways in which we show love to our self-care, right? Now, talking about my experience, I never used to spend so much time in grooming myself, right? And once I entered the corporate world and I just did it once accidentally. And then after that, it was no looking back. So the incident is that I went to a parlor, there were $1,000 for a hairstyling. And in my earlier days, it never used to cross 100 or 150 rupees, right? So that was one time I did try it accidentally. And after that, now I make sure that on any special occasion that I'm going, and especially being a photographer, I understand the importance that, your hair care, your hairstyling can do wonders to the final presentation, right? And that's where I have experimented a bit with my hair. I've tried in childhood days, it was the Salman Khan, the middle partition. it looked horrible on me. So it was just one of those ugly experiments. But then I did try the hair spikes and something did work out. And that has become my go-to hairstyle whenever I am going to any special events. So yeah, I definitely encourage everyone to try it and different things. It's for those of you who have not tried. And I'm definitely looking forward. So some of the tips that are being shared today to take and see what I can inculcate in my life going forward. So thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ritvik. I completely resonate with you. Sometimes what happens, we can't spend, but still, we're forced to spend on our hair, right? So with that, we'll move on to the third speaker who would like to go next. Any volunteers? Uma, yes. Uma, you can choose any number between 1 to 9 except 3.
9.
9. Okay. So the topic is, what's the worst pickup line someone has used on you? What's the worst pickup line as someone has used on you?
Can I get it once again? Worst
pickup line someone has used on you.
Okay. Many times we get offended by people saying some hiccup lines against us. Always appreciation elevates us, and those hiccups make us go down. One such hiccup I always remember. There was a neighbor who was very friendly to me, who was very frank, and she said, Uma, you look better in a sari than in a dress. But I always loved wearing dresses. So I took her word and stopped wearing dresses. I started wearing saris, which was uncomfortable to me. Though I was good at wearing saris, but somehow I was not carrying them well. And I always had what the neighbor told me, that you don't look good in dresses. But I always loved wearing dresses. And then after some time, I read in a book, you should do whatever you like. Don't bother about what others say. How long will you be listening to others? If you don't live your life, when are you going to live it? That's when I realized that if I want to do what I like, I should go ahead. I should not bother about what hiccups or whatever others say. Just go ahead, live your life, be happy. And I started wearing dresses and I felt so happy because I'm the person who is liking to do whatever I want, and I will not listen to whatever anybody says. I will live my life. Over to you. Thank you.
Great. I think that was much required for a weekend and to start off our new week. Uma, thank you so much for those inspiring words. So with that, we'll move on to the next speaker. I see Saurabh raising his hand. Saurabh, you can choose any number between 1 to 9 except 3 and 9.
1.
1. Great. Here you go. The topic is the emotional connection between hair and love. The emotional connection between hair and love. Over to you, Saurabh.
I am against emotions, but I'm not against using them. That's how I deal with emotions. And I think as far as my connection or emotional connection with my hair is concerned, it's pretty much the same. It's more of a useful thing for me rather than something that I would love to flaunt, because I don't have much of them. Well, I have whatever I need, and that's good enough for me. but I don't have a flowy mane like some of you here, so that I can do a lot of experimentation. So I really don't have an emotional connection with my hair, but I do feel that there are people who do feel very connected to them. They get very emotional. And one person is my mom. My mom has never been someone who's like taken very good care of herself in terms of dressing up, going to the beauty parlors and all that. But there's one thing about which she has been very worried about her hair fall, her hair turning gray, and she would very desperately try to cover that up, dyeing, coloring, and doing whatnot. And I felt that she's too much invested in her hair, and she felt that her hair defines her identity at times, which is what I have seen with other people as well. So as far as my personal emotional connection with hair, it's pretty much as good as not being there. But I do understand that people get emotional about hair. And otherwise, I would even have a topic like this, right? So thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster.
It's great. This reminds me of a line, less is more, right? So thank you, Saurabh. Who would like to go next? Our next speaker, Priyanka. Priyanka, you can choose any number between 2 to 8 except 3.
I'll choose 1.
2 to 8. 1 is already taken.
Already done. Okay, 2.
2. Okay. Just give me a second. Here you go. The effect of hair on self-confidence in love. I'll repeat it for you. The effect of hair on self-confidence in love.
The effect of hair on self-confidence in love. Honestly, if you ask me, my point of view, if you ask me probably 20 years back, I wouldn't have understood the importance of hair. The reason being is, okay, so I was very blessed having a very, very long, beautiful hair, and such a beautiful hair that I had to have someone at home. They had appointed someone separately to take care. No, that was a little very frustrating for me because I was not allowed to do anything. And when you reach a certain age, you would love to experiment. You like to flaunt. And I was not allowed to do all that. There was a time where I did not understand the importance of it. So I just, without telling anyone at home, I just went to a salon and cut my hair off. And that was the biggest shock that everybody got in my home. And I just remember that I did all these possible experiments, let it be straightening everything, and I kind of spoiled the beautiful hair that I had. And I did not know that any chemical treatment that you do for your hair can affect your hair so badly. And that is when I realized. And obviously, you start loving your hair as you grow older and you reach that age where you just want to do everything possible to your hair. Because when you're much younger, you don't understand what you would want to do, at least at that point of time. And now I want to do everything possible, and I only have to spend money to to show that love to my hair than actually do what I could do earlier. That is through all the taking good care or oiling my hair, doing the right things to my hair, which I was doing much earlier. And now I have to spend to just make my hair look healthy, to make my hair look beautiful. And the fact now is for me, my hair is very, very important. I really love it. I want to do everything possible, but I'm restricted for my foolishness that I did for not knowing that was my foolishness at that point of time. I also realized that hair can play a very integral role in your confidence, the way you present yourself. And then I did not know that. I thought people are very crazy to actually do all these things for their hair. Or pay so much attention, tie your hair. I did not understand that. But now I know the importance, the self-confidence that your hair can give you, nothing else can give you. And actually, this is something I realized when I saw my mother, because of cancer, when she lost her complete hair. And she was completely shattered at that point of time, which I did not understand because I was much younger at that point of time. And that is how I know how important a hair is. And I think as much as we give the importance for our appearance or we say that we love ourselves, yes, when we love ourselves, hair also plays a very, very important role in that. And I would like to tell each and every one of you, please take care of your hair and don't do anything stupid and fall for all the gimmicks that the people come across. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Priyanka. I'm sure we all resonate with that, and we all know that we don't value things when we have it, right? And we'll only realize when we don't have it. So with that, we'll move on to the next speaker. So would like to go next?
We have a few guests, Pratyush and Sendil Kumar and Dr. Pasha. So you can invite also.
Yes. Yeah. Pratyush, would you like to take it up? Or maybe Sendil?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to give it a try. Thank you, Shwin.
Okay, great. That's the spirit. So you can choose any number between 4 to 8.
4.
Go for 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have an interesting topic for you. So one day you wake up as a Shah Rukh Khan, how would you react? One day you wake up as a Shah Rukh Khan, how would you react? Over to you.
That's a great topic. Yeah. So one day, if I wake up as Shah Rukh Khan, I would definitely enjoy my fan following and step out of the balcony, which I think out of his house is there, and wave to the crowds and just feel for myself what it is like to have that fan following or that public attention. Apart from that, I would go through the schedule of such a personality, how they manage everything. I would like to know myself first, what like self-discipline, what qualities are there in such a person. Means if I'm Shah Rukh Khan, I would want to know all those things, that what makes Shah Rukh Khan actually, and what his like relations with all sorts of like personal life, public life, how does he manage everything. So like we are so curious about all the things about such great personalities, not only Shah Rukh Khan, but in this case Shah Rukh Khan, that we want to know so much. Also, and obviously, since it's his hair special day, I would love to know about his hair care routine and what he does to make himself even so good looking, even at this age, approaching close to 60. How does he take care of his hair? What has been his journey since beginning? He has been having such great hair. Yeah, and I mean, I would not like to know what is his relations, most importantly, that with certain people in his life, what keeps him going throughout, what keeps him active. Yeah, so that's all what I would love to do as if I wake up as Shah Rukh Khan Sunday. Thank you.
Okay, that's a lot, and thank you so much for sharing. Timer, do we have some more time to take up other speakers?
We can have, it's all, I think according to the agenda, we are on time. We can have one last speaker and then we can wrap this.
Yes. Okay, great. So I think we have a Mahaboop, if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay. So Mahaboop, you can choose any number between 5 to 8.
6.
6. So the topic for you is, what's the most ridiculous thing you have ever eaten? I'll repeat it for you. What's the most ridiculous thing you have ever eaten?
Ridiculous means what is the exact meaning of ridiculous, ridiculous means
ridiculous means funny, something, anything funny.
Funny, okay. Yeah.
Funny thing I have eaten. So funny thing eaten means I'm pure non-vegetarian. I love to eat meat and biryani. This is my usual diet. So the thing is, funny thing means for me, vegetarian looks funny because by eating vegetarian look fun because I have born and brought up in Muslim family. We used to eat three times non-veg. So if I see people eat this pure vegetarian, all the time, really it looks me funny how these people survive means how they get energy from all these types. Don't mind all types of grasses like that. I feel to myself because I it look me vegetables look me gas. Don't feel bad. So means non-veg food, vegetarian food look me funny. So once if you go to my non-Muslim, my Hindu friends, I have a lot of Hindu friends. If I go to the Hindu friend marriages, when I used to eat so many types of small, this thing, they can be bringing so many, this many, this, that, this. So it looks me really funny. Baba, what is this? All these things. One nutritious food, eating meat biryani or chicken biryani instead of eating 11, 12 items for proteins and carbohydrate. What is this all fun? So it is look me like fun only, ma'am. I think I am looking funny. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am. Say I am learning my English. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was hilarious. I'm sure all of the team members agree here. Saurabh, would you like to add on? I see a flourishing smile on your face. Saurabh, you're on mute. Yeah, you can say.
Adam, I've never seen someone roast vegetarians or roast any kind of. And it's so clear. I mean, people who are vegetarians and on camera, like they are going red. Oh, good one, Dr. Basha.
Good one, really good one, Mehboob. Thank you so much. You got all that big smile on our face. So with that, we come to the end of the table topics, and thank you all the speakers for taking the initiative. The first step towards impromptu speaking. And yeah, with that, I'll hand over the stage to Chitrakshi. Over to you, Chitrakshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwini. It is table topics was, I think, one of my favorite sections for today because I didn't know. I mean, this is the first time I have my camera on for the entire meeting. So I didn't know if I should laugh out loud or should I hide myself and laugh. What am I supposed to do here? It was, and I so resonate with this because in my house as well, we have non-veg mostly every meal of the day except Tuesdays, Hindu family, sorry. But when every time I go out with my family and someone says, "Oh, it's vegetarian," I really don't know how to make sense of it. My mother hates me for that forever, and she'll disown me if she hears this. I'm going to just quietly put that under the rug. But it was one of my favorite table topic sessions that I've had till now. Also, one of my favorite topics, another topic that was one of my favorite topics that came up was if I was Shah Rukh Khan for one day. My God, if I was Shah Rukh Khan for one day, I would just do that to my hair and take out my phone and call Chitrakshi. And I would say, okay, this girl is going to be in my life forever. I'm putting it on video. I'm going to post it everywhere that this girl is my favorite. And the next day, well, I would not want to wake up after that, but I'm sorted. Like once I'm going to call Chitrakshi and just like say, I'm not getting married to her. I'm kind of adopting her because I really like her. So that would be what I would do as Shah Rukh Khan, and definitely the hairs. So well, with that, let's Zoom Master, are we ready to launch the polls? We have to launch the polls for the best evaluator and best table topic speaker. While everyone does the launch.
Evaluator we will do later because there is one more evaluator who has to present the evaluation. I'm launching the table topics right now.
It's right in front of her. Table topics, please everyone vote for it. And then we have I see the general evaluator is just waiting for me to hand it over to him because he's just peekabooing every 2 minutes and saying, okay, you need to do this. And he's reminding me constantly that I have an evaluator. I know, I've accepted that bitter truth. I'm scared of my evaluator, but I know I'm being evaluated. But he has to come up with it every 2 minutes. Introduce your evaluator. Your evaluator also needs to have a poll. What is happening with me? So, well, I think we're pretty much done. There's one more person. Are we good with the poll? Zoom Master? Okay, perfect. That was the end of the 2-3 sections. 3? no, actually 3, because one section is still pending. Guest, general evaluator, my evaluation is still pending, so it cannot end without that. Before we go on to the next section, let's quickly do one. See, I want to know from all of you, what do you think is the biggest reason for hair fall? I'm just trying to delay my evaluation. Please understand. Okay, well, I can't hear anyone. One at a time. Let's go. Yes, Toastmaster Dhwani.
I think it's stress.
Stress. Toastmaster Pasha. Genes. Okay.
It is it is stress only, ma'am. All types of stress and
all types of stress. Okay. Anyone else? So we have stress. We have
I
genes.
feel it's chemical treatment, like hair straightening or keratin. That has been my major reason of my hair fall. Hair permanent straightening, tried and keratin treatment and all that.
So all the chemicals you put to the hair. Toastmaster Parna was saying something. I'm scared of her, but I'm going to wait. Yes.
No, I was saying bad genes. Okay, bad hair genes, which I can actually account for. So.
Oh yes. So genes for sure. Anything else?
EMIs.
Yeah. What?
Too much working also, it doesn't work.
Too much working. So we mostly have stress. Yeah, and Saurabh, did you say EMIs?
EMIs. Yes, we all agree with you, Saurabh.
Oh my God. So everything boils down to EMI, stress and money, but
is filthily rich.
So I mean, if it was EMIs, then I would have to say that either you're super rich and then you need to adopt me, or that you have no stress in the world at all because your hair is so crazily dense and thick, man. What? Where are the EMIs? Call the wife. Something's wrong here. What is happening? Okay, so yes, we have stress, we have EMIs, I would add as stress, and bad genes. These are the 2 things that we've been told, and of course, chemicals. Yes, Toastmaster Santil.
Nutrition.
I can't hear you. Sorry, what?
Sorry, nutrition, about your diet.
Nutrition. Yes, well, nutrition as well. But one of the biggest reasons other than genetics, now genetics mostly a lot of us can't help other than with counter medication or good medication, which is biotin. Adding a lot of biotin to your food or having biotin supplements can actually help your hair growth. But one of the biggest reasons for hair fall is an oily scalp. One of the biggest reasons is oily scalp. So when you stress and you do this or you brush your hair too many times, there's a lot of oil that is secreted in your scalp, and that is one of the biggest reasons. So when your hair is nicely washed, you will realize that your hair is not falling as much as it is when it's oily and dirty. Sort of stop. See, you said you have no emotion towards your hair, but every 2 minutes I see you do this like Shah Rukh Khan. Sorry, I will not accept. Please do not accept his table topic speech. Okay, that was all wrong. Too many emotions attached to his hair. Okay, with that, let's hand it over to the general evaluator. And remember, hair fall, oily hair, manage that well. General evaluator, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Chitrakshi, Toastmaster of the day. I think the meeting theme for today should have been love is in roasting, because there's like so much roasting going on. And today's meeting's highlight for me is roasting by Dr. Pasha. I've known him for quite some time now. And I always thought he is the most, most harmless person that I've ever met till the roasting that happened. And I've never seen anyone doing it with so much of, so naturally, no one felt offended, but yeah, it was fun. So, so the way I'll do the evaluation is I'll first invite the evaluator of Toastmaster Chitrakshi. Then I'll share my evaluation on some parts of the meeting and the evaluations. Post that, I will invite the tag team. And then I'll share my evaluation for the rest of the meeting and the tag team reports. Over to you and Toastmaster Parna.
Right, thank you very much, Shah Rukh Khan. Oops, general evaluator. So the quick evaluation of Toastmaster Chitrakshi's TMOD today, TMOD role today. So let me tell you, you learn better when you have a lot of fun. And you ensured we had a lot of fun today because the theme was lovely. Love is in the hair. Such a light theme once in a while adds to the aura of this club's meeting. Trust me, and it's true. So this was a lot of fun. The meeting was fun. You kept it fun by asking these great questions in between, adding those witty comments. And I'm sure everyone smiled here in today's meeting, which is important. Along with it, we learned. So great going there. Wonderful selection of theme. Then moving on, a few more good points I want to add before I add what you can do better. You managed the meeting really well. I saw you come into the meeting and then you ensured everyone was coming in, you were welcoming them. You were the host for the meeting today and you were a very good hostess, I must comment. Then, when we moved on to the areas where there were a few hiccups, like I think the evaluator too didn't get her evaluation form, you filled up that space. I was actually watching how you're handling it. Hiccups will happen. You can't avoid it completely. But what makes or breaks a meeting is how well you handle that hiccup. You handled it very well. I observed specifically, you asked people questions. We forgot that we're actually waiting for a speech. Now, for the improvement areas. There were a few technical misses here there. Like for instance, you did mention we have 3 parts, but we normally have guests in the meeting. It becomes important to give a one-liner of what each part is, right? Just say, okay, prepared speeches, we do this. We have an extempo session, which is a table topics, and then we have an evaluation. Just run them through it so they know what they're looking forward to in the meeting. It's a 2-hour meeting, so have them prepared there. The second thing, one of our speakers missed sharing the right evaluation form. Now, as the TMOD, you are holding all the reins to the meeting. You need to know who is doing what in today's meeting, like the back of your hand. But I'll tell you what, I've made this mistake. I didn't know what my speakers were doing when I was a TMOD. So this is something I learned from experience. So as a TMOD, just go through the agenda and know what each speaker is about to speak, who's evaluated. Just know these role takers and each role properly. That will help you hold the meeting together, because this is something you're going to be reflecting outside of Toastmasters. You're going to be doing it there also. Even there, you would have to know what is going on in the agenda, who is doing what, do they have the right things. So lesser hiccups. That is the preparation you will have to put in. So just that bit, know what each person is doing. Apart from that, I think the meeting was fantastic. You have a very vivacious, bubbly personality, which came through, and you made complete use of it by the choice of theme and also the way you conducted the entire meeting. I had a lot of fun today. Just ensure you keep those technical things in mind, call out those 3 parts, and then ensure what each person is doing. You know it very well. You are set. You really don't have much to do other than that. You're doing really well. And thank you for sharing the agenda well in advance. We all went through it, a very well put together agenda. Fantastic job done today, Toastmaster Chitrakshi. I'm surprised we weren't worried about your evaluation. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aparna. So let me first launch the polls and before I present my evaluation. Please quickly cast your votes. Every vote matters. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, let me start with the evaluation of the evaluations. Then I'll share a few observations about the meeting probably. And then, at least a couple of roles I will be able to cover when I'm evaluating the evaluators, and also a couple of tips on the speakers. So coming to the first speaker, Toastmaster Ritvik. Ritvik, can you come on camera? Are you still there? Is Ritvik in the meeting? Yeah. So Ritvik, I would, in addition to what was mentioned by your evaluator, Toastmaster Syed, there is one thing that I would want to add, and kind of it's an addition to what Toastmaster Syed said. He found the speech very technical. And the reason he found this very technical is because your speech had much more purpose than passion. Give me 1 second. My Mac is planning to die down. Do you have नहीं ठीक है उसको दे दो चार्जर दे दो Okay, so if you bring a little bit of purpose, a little bit of passion in the way you're presenting, rather than just capturing the technical details, then I think it is easier for the audience to understand. And also break it down to very simple languages, like what Toastmaster Syed said. So I always say that when you're trying to explain something, when there's a knowledge transfer that's happening, it has to happen in such a way that even an 8-year-old can understand. So if you are doing an informational speech, use this litmus test. If I give this speech to my 8-year-old niece or nephew, will he or she be able to understand it? If the answer you're getting is no, then you know your speech is not ready yet, right? So that is something that you need to keep in mind. And I totally agree with Toastmaster Sayed's observations on this. Coming to the second speaker, you were talking about something which is so close to your heart, right? Something about that you are so emotionally connected with, attached with. And what I didn't see on the screen are the emotions. Probably what Neha mentioned, it could be because of that, because you were occasionally looking down, you were a little distracted, your background, all of it put together. It blurred the presence of you that should have come out very strongly on the screen. So I couldn't connect with the emotions. And the other thing is about the speech title. Now, the speech title is the crown of your speech, right? That is something that you cannot mess with. So you did not pronounce it right. So the pronunciation of the word is hitamupure. 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 Right. So you pronounced it as something slightly different. I don't remember exactly what you said. But this is something, and the important thing is when you're introducing a new word, a foreign word which is not in English language, it's always a good practice to make the audience get familiarized with that. So you could have said, okay, let me put the title in the chat, right? That would have been a great value addition. It's a very beautiful word. Hitamupure means love at first sight. So in one word. So many of these foreign languages have this. And thank you for introducing that word, Utkarsha. I love this word. And thank you for introducing this today. Neha, extremely observant. You picked up all the details of what she mentioned. And what I really liked about both the speech evaluators, Syed and Neha, is that you were not summing up or telling us what he or she said. You were actually telling us why that is important as well. And that is what makes a good evaluation, because we are not here to help the speaker remember what she or he said. Coming to our third evaluator and the T-mod. So I'll talk about the T-mod first, and then we can come back to the. So, or let me do the other way around. So, if you look at the project guidelines, Aparna, the project guideline has got two parts to it. One is the part where she is supposed to conduct this meeting. And there is another part, which is she's supposed to plan and organize this meeting. So your entire evaluation was only on the second part of how she drove the meeting. I didn't see any comments from you on what could she have done better, what she already did well in terms of the preparation and organizing the meeting. And I do have a few observations on those things. So first of all, the mix-up, for instance, that happened between the evaluation resource. I appreciate, and I totally agree with you, the presence of mind that Chitrakshi had, continued the conversation, thinking on her feet. That's smart, right? But while she scores her 9 on 10 for handling this well, I do have concerns that why did this situation happen in the first place? Or let me ask one question. Did I receive the introduction of my Taggle team, Chitrakshi? Do you know? Did I receive or did I not receive?
You did, I was told. I asked specifically, yes.
Okay, I did not. Okay, I did not receive any introduction of any of my Taggle team members. Now you could say I don't know. But again, borrowing from Harvey Specter, it's your goddamn job to know, right? Because that is what this project entails. Similarly, this meeting poster was launched twice. And the two different promos. And the first promo had nothing to do with the theme of the meeting. So that is something that is not something that's not the most desirable state to be in, where a wrong poster goes on, because love is in the air and love is in the hair is like 360-degree opposite, right? So, and I don't know if there was any thought of transitioning from air to hair. I'm the happiest person on earth that you did not, because that would definitely would have made it sound more ridiculous. So this is something, when you are planning a meeting, you need to plan it from all the elements and aspects of it. Conducting as a team out is just one small part of it, where again, as Aparna said, you are brilliant. And you know that. You know that the moment you come on screen, you are going to take control, right? And you're a very, very confident person. That's one of the best qualities of an MC. So you played so well. But planning part, this is something which I would want you to think. Could you have done a better job in how you planned and organized this entire meeting? In terms of promotions, in terms of logistics, and that is where I did see a few misses. And I think in this way, I'm also making the point for the evaluator as well, that when we are evaluating a speaker, we have to evaluate the project in totality, not certain parts of the project. Okay, before I move on to the tag team, let me also comment a little bit on the overall meeting, the way we started. So the essay, the meeting started 1 minute late, but that's okay, because today we are trying something new. I don't know if you guys realizing, we are trying something called a cluster hybrid. So, which basically means that since having a full hybrid setup is not possible all the time, why can't we have cluster hybrid? Like today, Aparna, Nancy, me, we are in the same location. So there is a physical meeting happening in a cluster here, which is connected to the online meeting. So think of it as an option. Maybe, people staying in Indiranagar, 4 or 5 people can get together and do a cluster in-person meeting, and we can get connected through the larger meeting. If someone's traveling to Delhi, if someone is already in Delhi, you guys can come together. That will also give you a reason to, meet each other and make new friends. And the credit, this idea actually came to me thanks to one gentleman who's sitting in this meeting and who's not a member of the Gabbys. I did my first cluster hybrid meeting at his son's house, Toastmaster Joseph Benedict. And this was for the Speech Weavers Club. That was the first time that I saw that this as a concept where 4 or 5 people are coming in together and they are connecting with 4 or 5 people who are sitting in somewhere else. And it's like various clusters of in-person meetings being connected through a virtual world. So we will probably try more and more of this again. And that was to a certain extent the reason that we started a minute late. I think the rest of it was handled pretty well. Coming to the presiding officer's address, I think, Sayed, this is your first time you're doing the address at the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, right? As the presiding officer, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So I think you did a pretty good job in terms of talking about the Toastmaster values, the mission, inviting the guests, helping them to address, acknowledging the presence of our area director and inviting her to share a few words. I think brilliant job there. Just one thing that I think I would want you to add is talk about the club achievements. And this is something which was not talked about. So if you are, we are always in two minds that whether it's okay for us to share our achievements, but as they say, if it's not bragging if it's true, right? So you can share those achievements and you should share those achievements because there are guests here who doesn't know why this club is considered to be one of the finest clubs, finest Toastmasters clubs, and they should know every time they get an opportunity to attend our meetings. That's just one addition. Table topic master, again, you're a newbie into the club, Ashwini, but I really love your passion with the way you're selecting the topics and the passion in which you're conducting the session. That's very important. A table topic master like me with a long face is always a big deterrent for participation. So more power to people like you who are more inviting and let other people get encouraged to participate. Just one humble request. sometimes we have to think if the topics are could appear as insensitive to the audience or certain sections of the audience. So the favorite pickup line is probably, or the was pickup line is a bit of a risk kind of a topic, I would say. It will probably go down well in a group of youngsters like Utkarsha, Chitrakshi, Nancy, Neha. But with some of our oldies being here like me, we may be taken a little aback. One, because it has been donkey's years that someone used a pickup line on us, right? So that's a bit of unsettling thing for us. So with this, I would now invite our Taggle team members to start with a timer. Toastmaster Dhwani, Adisara. Can we have the timer report, please?
Yeah, can you see my screen? Hello, can you all hear me? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is the timing report. As per the prepared speech section, speaker 1, Ritvik took 7 minutes 14 seconds. Speaker 2, Utkarsha took 4 minutes 43 seconds. I'm not quite sure if she's qualified or not. Please let me know on that part. Evaluator 1 took 2 minutes 35 seconds, evaluator 2 took 2 minutes 46 seconds, and evaluator 3, Toastmaster Aparna, took 3 minutes 3 seconds. In table topic section, Toastmaster Ankit took 1 minute 18 seconds, Toastmaster Ritvik took 1 minute 45 seconds, guest Toastmaster Uma took 1 minute 33 seconds, DTM, I'm so sorry for this part, DTM. Yes, DTM Saurav took 1 minute 42 seconds. Toastmaster Priyanka, 3 minutes 6 seconds. Guest Pratyush took 2 minutes, and guest Dr. Pasha took 2 minutes 4 seconds. So that has been Toastmaster Priyanka went a bit overboard. So next time, people who've gone overboard, just make sure that you are within time. And if you feel that you cannot see the time up, what you can do is you can ask the team mod or the people or the Zoom moderator to pin the timer so that it will be helpful for you and you do not get overboard. So that's all. Rest, everyone were on time. Kudos to everybody on completing the meeting very well. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dhwani. Couple of observations. So first is that speaker 2 was not disqualified because the minimum time limit is 4 minutes 30 seconds and she spoke for 4 minutes 43 seconds. So she does qualify. Also a clarification that since we conduct the polls before the timer report is presented, hence we don't disqualify anyone. This is something that we'll have to discuss with the ExCom and see how do we bring in a bit of a synergy so that we can do that. But and again, the idea here is, since it's not a contest, there's no point in disqualifying someone, but it's always important for us to give a reminder to that person that you are going over time. So in the contests, things will be different. So we want to make this a safe and supportive space rather than a place where you come with stressed out. You already have the stress of table topics and now they add to that time on top of it. So people like me will really, get nervous. So with this, let me move on to the, okay, one more thing, Dhwani. You were also supposed to time the T-mod. Did you time the T-mod? What was the total screen time? Okay. So I'll tell you the way out is very easy. I will send you the recording. You can watch it. You can share the total time that the T-mod has taken. Just kidding. It's okay. I will go with 18 to 22 minutes of time that she has taken. Now let me invite the R counter for today's meeting. Our R counter for today is Toastmaster Karthik Venugopal. Toastmaster Karthik, over to you to present your R counter support.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'm sharing my screen and letting you know the report of R counter. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
You can.
Sure, I'm sharing it right now. So as you can see, many of you guys have not used such as crutch words, filler words, and repetitive words. So kudos to all of you. And those who have used these crutch words, filler words, I would recommend you to just be mindful of usage of those words and try reducing them in your next speeches. So and because there is always a room of improvement. And I would also like to say that to give an effective speech, usage of these words are a blockage for you. So I would like to give your thumbs up to improve them on. Thank you. Back to you, General Leverett.
Thank you so much. And this is the reason that I sent that Adam Grant post on the discussions group, because I never disappoint the accountants. So thank you for letting me know where I stand. Okay, let me now invite a very well respected Toastmaster in District 92, someone who's always helpful, always comes forward to help other clubs. And today we have Toastmaster Joseph Felix Benedict, the president of the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, as the grammarian today. Over to you, Joseph, sir.
Thank you, DTM Sauradatta, for your amazing introduction. Today, I really enjoyed the meeting in my own perspective. I will explain to you why, while I narrate the things that a grammarian should do. Today's good words are blonde, affiliation, torches, mesmerizing, pink, apology, abrupt, barring, curious expression, addicted, inculcating, boils down, offended, segmentation, frustrated, integrated, ridiculous, hilarious, and fantastic. Now, some of the incorrect word that has been used is Toastmasters is, Toastmasters are. Work hard and hard and hard. That's not a correct way of expression. Work very hard. Balance it out is balance out. Scolding, scolding, scolding. Scolding every time. Left on the place. Left it on the place. Couple of instances. Then told like I was told. Early years. Liking to do could be like to do. Then you have small. So varieties of small dishes. The word ridiculous is actually, the meaning is very silly, unreasonable. The food cannot be silly and unreasonable. So when you are putting it for a food, it should not be a ridiculous. You can say spoiled food. The food is a grace of God. Then what I observed is, you see, the entire audience who are here, their mother tongue is not English, I am sure. But we are well educated, and having the command of English is a tribute. It does not mean you increase the speed. You should know there are people who are slow in understanding or fast in understanding. So your speed should be a speed that could make people understand. What for you are speaking? You have to make understand other people. The perfect example you can say is, watch BBC. There the Indians are speaking. Watch CNN. What is the speed? How they pronounce. How their attention is paid to the audience when they broadcast. That is more important than throwing the language in anywhere. There are, for example, now, one of the speaker broken the sentences into a number of parts. The lot of pronunciation has been used, which is not correct way of speech. You should correct some of the sentences to one sentence at least. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. It could be said, I did all these things at a time. So that would be an appropriate situation. So these are some of the things which I would like to say. One is the speed and also the slang languages don't use. Like, hey, you should say hello. This is Toastmaster. We learn speaking. We need to have a skill in speaking, public speaking. So you should not use slang languages. Some of the table topic persons also used a sentence which they could not complete, therefore they use other alternative way to connect, which is a slang language. If you want to speak a sentence, speak it correctly and end it and go to another, because you are not able to contemplate on your subject, what you to speak. So you break it in a slang language and go. So that's not a good English, especially in the Toastmasters. You must observe these kind of spoken languages to be correct. This platform always gives a very good educational values. Therefore, you have to accept it. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joseph. That was a pretty detailed and a very good, well-observed evaluation report of the grammarian. Just a couple of things I would want to add in terms of my recommendation to the grammarian report. So whenever we have more than 3 or 5 observations, please understand that it's not getting captured. You can give out the information, but no one is actually assimilating that and putting that to use, unless and until you're putting it visually in front of people. So if you have a visual chart, only then so much of information can be grasped, processed, retained. Otherwise, it gets lost. So whenever you have a grammarian role, I always recommend to have something visually in front of us. If not anything, you can put it on the chat box as a report, as a Word file, something which people can refer to. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure 90% of the things that you said, people have already forgotten. So that's one request. And the other one is that it's a little kindly, a little funny. The grammarian cannot have a wrong spelling in the grammarian's name. So that's something that you would want to fix. With this, I would now invite the listener of today's meeting, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goyal. Welcome, Nancy.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back to prepare you all for better relationships. I'm not talking only about personal relationships, but professional as well. So let's get on with our listeners' report. Before that, there's a small test. Let's see who all were listening. I'll start off with the easier questions. And here we go. These are the things that have been talked like multiple times in the meeting. So if you're listening carefully, you know it. Which club is Toastmaster Joseph Benedict from? This was talked about 3 times.
Speech weavers.
Okay. Anyone in the room?
Speech weavers.
Cool.
Gabbys.
You're wrong, DTM Saurabh. Speech weavers is the correct answer. Okay, what else? Easier one. Who donated his hair for cancer patients?
Govardhan.
Pastor Govardhan.
Okay, we were listening. Who is planning to color her hair blue in near future?
Dhwani.
Master Aparna.
Oh, Aparna.
Okay, Chitrakshi, I think you can take a backseat when it's a question related to Timor script. Let others speak. Thank you so much. Okay, so if any of the questions are relevant to your role, please try to take a back seat and let others take a chance at it. What's that one myth Toastmaster Dhwani talked about?
Onion.
Onion. Onion water.
Okay. Okay, correct answer, Toastmaster Priyanka and DTM Saurabh here. Speech title for Toastmaster Utkarsha was from which language?
Japanese.
Spanish.
Japanese.
Okay, Toastmaster Neha, that was not Spanish, it's Japanese. Japanese is the correct answer. Origin of oil and shampoo are found in which country?
India. Bengal.
Let me frame the next question before you answer it. Yes, Bengal, Amla, Champu, Indian gooseberry. You have almost answered most of my questions. Okay, next question, what hiccup line Toastmaster Uma talked about? Hiccup line I'm talking about, not pickup line.
The dress.
You look good in sari than dress.
Dress.
Okay, we all were listening. So if we all were listening, I have a question on everyone's presence of mind. Let's see, do we have this kind of presence of mind? Were we aware of the things happening in the meeting? So no offense to Toastmaster Neha here. Toastmaster Neha has got nail paint on one hand.
Left.
Left or right?
Left.
Left.
Who is that? Karthik?
Yeah, left, I think.
Okay, Toastmaster Neha, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
You're not supposed to show because next question is what is the color?
Maroon.
It's black.
Yeah, it's black. It looked black.
Black, it looks black.
Burgundy color.
It's maroon, I think.
Looks brown.
It's color bar bronze brown. Okay, it's color bars bronze brown if I'm not.
Color bars bronze brown.
Take note for
Okay, Neha, would you like to answer that?
It's Nika's purple.
Purple.
Okay.
So burgundy has some purple shade in it. Okay, I'm correct as a listener and with my presence of mind. With this, I conclude my report. I can say that everyone was listening and everyone was having a good presence of mind, especially Toastmaster Karthik and distinguished Toastmaster Saurav. Amazed by that. Thank you, and over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Saurav.
Yeah. Okay, so Aparna had a question. Why were we looking at her nail polish? And that's something. I was with the listener. Why were you looking at her nail polish? The listener wants to know. Okay, thank you
She
so
was
much.
using her hands. So I could see.
The Taggle team. Yeah, Karthik, what was your reason?
She was using her hands while she was evaluating, so I could see.
Hand gestures.
Hand gestures, yeah. So hand gestures matter. People know
Yes.
you have nail paint on one hand or not. It's that important. Okay, thank you so much. It was a wonderful session. The entire meeting was pretty enjoyable. I really loved the table topic speaker, the table topic section, the speeches. It was a good learning. And I already shared the observation about the rest of the role takers. So back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chitrakshavich. But before that, let me quickly launch the polls for this one.
Thank you, Zoom Master. That's exactly what I would have asked you to do. But you are very quick on your feet. Thank you for taking that. Also, to the listener, I'd really like to tell the listener that I had to pay special attention to the blue color of the hair because that was my evaluator. I was listening to her more intently than I was listening to everyone else. Sorry, people, but I had to. However, it was a really good meeting. I had a lot of fun. And Zoom Master, please let me know once the polls are in, once we have all the people here as well. So busting all the myths. Okay, that is the end of the poll. That's the end of the poll. To all of you, thank you so much for being here. Now some myths that we have busted today, some hair care that we've thought about, and the best part, my favorite part with the second poll is also that you have to take care of your hair and not let them get so oily and not stay oily. I used to do that a lot because I'm a very lazy person. It's very cold here, so I won't shampoo for like 4 or 5 days straight. And that's when I realized that after the third day, my hair starts falling. I went to a dermatologist and that's when I discovered. So I paid a lot of money to know what you all already know. Oily hair, beware. Are we done with the second poll as well? Okay, we are sorted with both the polls. It was really, really lovely hosting the meeting. And since it's Gabbys, I must tell you, it's not just the evaluator that I feared, it's the entire club as a whole, because the entire club is full of such old known sources, people who've been there for so long, that as one of the newest members of the club, I was pretty scared. I didn't know how to tell people what. So we tried our best, but maybe, another meeting very soon where I'm going to manage even without the project. I hope I've qualified this. Thankfully, general evaluator is not my evaluator, and I have recording that my evaluator has kind of passed me here. No redo for that. So I'm safe this time. Okay, with that, thank you so much. Thank you all of you for being here. And over to you, presiding officer.
Wow, great meeting. I think in the interest of time, because it is already 12:01, we have one more thing to do. And for that, I will give the podium to GE back again, not in the GE role, but in a different role. Please take over.
Thank you, Toastmaster Syed. Let me first announce the results of the meeting today. So we are, give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm announcing the poll results now. First, for the impromptu speech, which is the table topic. The best speaker, any guesses? Table topic, the best table topic speaker, any guesses?
Dr. Pasha?
Yes, the winner is our roast master, Dr. Mehboob Pasha. Congratulations, Dr. Pasha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I didn't expect, sir. This is my second win. I am very happy, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pasha. The best on the Taggle team is, any guesses? Okay.
Listener.
Okay, so that explains 2 of the 4 votes that the listener received. But the one who got the majority of the votes and won is again a guest role taker, our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Joseph Alex Benedict. Congratulations, Toastmaster Joseph. Moving on, the speech evaluation. Best evaluator.
Neha.
Yeah, Chitrakshi is showing something. Chitrakshi. You are the best evaluator?
My evaluator is the my best. Evaluator. I'm the best, so my evaluator is the best.
Okay, nice try. And this time it worked. So the best evaluator is Toastmaster Aparna Raja. The best, what am I left with? The best speaker. Our best speaker for today, Toastmaster Ritvik Raj. Thank you for the crash course on photography. And finally, the best meeting role taker.
Timur? GE.
Who has a chance when I am the GE? Toastmaster is the Toastmaster of the day. The best role taker. Congratulations. With this, I would adjourn the meeting, the club meeting, but the members, please stay back. We have a small business meeting, something on the business agenda to finish off, and also our area director, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranade. May I request you to please stay back. The Gabbys members and Toastmaster Priyanka Ranade, please stay back. The guests, please feel to drop off and join us again next week. Same link bit.ly, the Gabbys TMC. Same time, same day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pasha. Thank you, Pratyush. See you next week.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabbys, for inviting me as a grammarian.
Joseph, sir. Thank you. See you next week again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's okay. Okay. So as you would know that we have Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi Hegre resigning as the VP Education of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club due to her personal and professional commitments. And she has submitted her Okay, let me stop the Facebook Live. Yeah, and she has submitted her resignation to the club president, which has been accepted. And with that, we had also invited nominations for the position of the VP Education of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, and we have received only one nomination from distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel. So we don't need an election to be conducted because we have got only one nomination, but still the process that we follow at the Gabbys is this. We will first ask Nancy to give a 2 minutes introduction about her, a little bit of a background about her, and wait, stopping the presiding officer. Okay, and she's going to give a 2 minutes introduction about her, and after that, I will ask anyone who wants to run from the floor. You can still do that now, nominate yourself, and then we'll wait for 30 seconds, and then we'll declare Nancy is elected with the proposed and second. Nancy, over to you. 2 minutes of your time.
Okay. Can I give a point of order? May I know who's the timer?
Can someone time her, please?
Okay.
Neha James, thank you.
All right, everyone. I would like to start off with my Toastmasters journey. I started with the Gabbys as charter president of this club in 2020, September 2020. Post that, after 9 months of being president with this club, I took up the role of vice president membership. During the tenure, we bagged a couple of awards and we were the super club. During the same tenure, I was also area director, area E2 district 92. Now in this program year, I'm working with the program quality director as Educom lead in this program year. And that's about my Toastmasters journey. But along the way, I have won a couple of awards like Outstanding Toastmaster. That's one of the most prestigious awards given to top 10 Toastmasters of the district in the previous program year, and Grand Slam Master Mentor Award, which is again most prestigious award for the mentors of the district. These are the two awards I have won. And I'm also the fastest path breaker of District 92 who has completed a path within 21 days. What else? One of the fastest DTM to complete Distinguished Toastmaster journey in 2 years and 3 months. I've got a couple of mentees here in this club, outside this club. And one of my mentees who claims to be my mentee and my mentor is the one who has put me in this position to speak for 2 minutes about myself, but this was my pitch about being a Toastmaster. On professional front, I'm a certified personal branding coach and an entrepreneur by choice. I am an engineer by graduation, a data scientist in the past. But yes, these are the kind of things that I bring to the table when I propose myself for the VP education role. I hope to deliver my best when I serve myself as VP education for this club. Thank you.
अभी इलेक्शन नहीं हुआ है तुम्हारा. Okay. So what happened to the camera? Angle changed. So we have 30 seconds time up. Please let me know when 30 seconds is over with a red card, Neha. Okay, 2 minutes for. There's no disqualification for this kind of pitches. So it's fine. She spoke for 2 minutes, 4 seconds. That was pretty quick. Okay, now we will have 30 seconds for anyone to nominate from the floor. If you want to nominate yourself from the floor for the position of the VP Education, please do that right now. 30 seconds on the clock. Neha, please show the red card after 30 seconds. Thank you. So we don't have any other nominations, anyone running from the floor and anyone expressing their intent to run from the floor. Hence, I would request one of you to propose DTM Nancy as the VP Education of the club and someone to second it, please.
I propose DTM Nancy as the VP Education of the Toastmasters, Gabbys Toastmasters Club.
Okay, proposed by Toastmaster Aparna Raja. Can someone please second it?
I second it.
Seconded by Toastmaster Neha Jain. With this, as the presiding officer of this election, I declare Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goyal as the Vice President Education of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club for the period February 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2023. I would congratulations DTM Nancy, and I would now request our area director, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranode, to please install DTM Nancy to the office of the VP Education of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Please.
Thank you. With the power vested in me as the area director of Area B1 District 92, I'm here to install the Vice President Education of the Gabbys and to prepare them for the challenges that lie ahead. As I briefly describe the challenges she must meet and the responsibilities she must fulfill, I request the officer to hold a pen, which signifies a gavel as a symbol of leadership. Thank you. Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goyal, as Vice President Education, you are expected to gain commitments from the members to set educational goals for themselves, assure that the club members are aware of the schedule of meeting roles, schedule members' speeches and projects, serve as a resource for questions about education awards, speech contests, and the mentor program. Plan meetings that will assist members in meeting their individual goals. Work with your members to ensure that they submit your applications for educational awards promptly. As the second highest ranking officer, preside over the meeting when the club president is unavailable. Represent your club at the area, division, and district council meeting. Vice President Education, Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goyal, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. By the power vested in me as the area director, it is now my pleasure to declare Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goyal as the Vice President Education of the Gabbys for the term February to June 2023. Let us all give her a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
Over to you, Presiding Officer.
Thank you and congratulations, DTM Nancy. Thank you, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranode. And before we close the meeting, since you're on an area director visit, any observations from your side about the club? You have 1 minute for you to share your observations.
Nothing. One thing that I always say whenever I come to Gabbys, it's always a learning. One thing I really like is every meeting is different, something innovative, which it's very rare I get to see in every meeting, other meetings basically. So that is one thing that I really like about the Gabbys. It's very innovative and very engaging. Only in today's meeting, as you had pointed out about the thing, that is the only thing which I've observed. But otherwise, according to me, everything was perfect.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Priyanka, and a big round of applause for our area director and for the club officers and the club members for maintaining this high standards of quality consistently in every meeting. Thank you. And with this, I adjourn the meeting number 116 and the business meeting of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club this week. See you next week, next Saturday, 10 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.